Hey guys, how you going? Hey guys, are you worried about 5G radiation? EMFs? Well, I want to tell you about the sponsor of this video. They're patriots and they support the truth. They're called EMF Harmonised and they sell EMF protection technology. The technology filters out the harmful RF waves, radio frequency waves, and has been scientifically proven to do so. It's Tesla technology. As we use computers, phones or tablets to watch any videos or do anything these days, the EMFs are damaging our DNA as we use them. In other words, consider getting some EMF protection from the link below, as you'll protect yourself, you'll help the growth of my channel, and you'll help a fellow truth supporting business, and it's very easy to shop by. They have phone strips and computer strips and laptop and personal relief discs. There's quite a few things in here, guys, so if you're interested, please have a look, and the link will be down below. Thank you so much. Hey guys, before I start, I'd like to thank Catherine, and thanks to all my PayPals and Patreons, and imagine my shock yesterday when that video got ads on it. Anyway, I won't question that too much. I've had a busy 5 days in the last 5 days, but I'm going to do this anyway. And if you hear noise like dripping, that's because I have a tin roof and it's raining. So I do apologise if you hear outside noises. There is not much I can do about it at the moment, unless I buy my own house one day. Okay, let's get on with it. These were produced as part of the Rule 26. Hang on, there's something here. Okay, Ms. Macaulay says it's the same, just ours have the baits beneath them. These were produced as part of the Rule 26 discovery. We can get additional baits if you want. Okay, the one I'm asking about first is the blank. You can look at that, and then I will identify the baits number referenced in this case. I want to direct your attention to the top right hand corner, just so I have an understanding of how these messages were taken. So I see that it says at the top, it says in the 4 line, it says Ms. Maxwell, and the date of blank. Why would you blank the date out? Does it matter? And then I see under M line, it looks like blank or something like that, a phone number, and a message saying returning your call, and on the bottom it looks like blank. Explain this to me. Does this represent blank taking down a message for you from blank? Is that how these work? And Mr. Pag again. Objection, Your Honour. Objection. I don't know if you've ever seen Seinfeld, but I just keep, every time I see it, I think of that. Okay, my question is, I'm trying to understand how the messages were taken. Looking at this message pad where it says signed blank, can you tell me who blank was? Answer, I cannot. Okay, do you know? Or do you not know? Typically when these messages were taken in your practice, when you were there, would the individual who took the message write their name on the message? Objection! Okay, I won't read any more objections. I keep thinking of Seinfeld every time I do. Answer, I don't recollect. You can ask who wrote it, so you can find out who it was. Okay, do you know who blank is? Answer, I don't. I'm going to direct your attention. Do we have a Bates number for that? Mr. Edwards, blank. Guthrie, blank for that one. I'll direct your attention to the first page which has a blank on it. Answer, okay. Now at the top of that document on the right hand side, the message that reads for GE date blank, message blank, and then it's signed GM. Is that your signature? Answer, that's not my handwriting. Okay, when other people take a message, how did this process work? Is there someone else in the house with initials GM? Answer, I cannot answer that. It's not my handwriting. Okay, I'm trying to understand how this gets here. Every time I say okay, it means that. I just can't say the letter. If you took a message and didn't write it down, would someone else record that message for you? Answer, all I can tell you, this is not my handwriting, so I cannot. I have no idea what that is. Okay, was the practice that... What was the practice when someone answered the phone with these message pads? What were they supposed to do? Answer, they were supposed to take a message and the time and the date and give the message. Okay, were they supposed to indicate who took the message? Answer, they were, but it wasn't. I don't really recall the actual process. I can see from here it looks like you're supposed to, but that's not my handwriting, so I can't say that what that was. Okay, do you know who blank is? Answer, no, I don't. Do you know whether blank was under the age of 18? Answer, I just testified I couldn't remember who she was, so it'd be difficult to know how old she was. This just sounds a bit like a smarty pants. Okay, do you know if she was coming to the house to provide massages? Answer, I don't remember who she is at all, so no. Okay, and then I would like to direct your attention to the message right underneath it, which says J.E. blank blank, and has a phone number, and the message says wants to know if she should bring her friend blank tonight. What is that message referring to? Answer, I can't possibly know. Okay, did individuals at the house take messages for underage girls to come over and bring friends for the purpose of providing massages? Answer, how would I possibly know what you are talking about? Okay, did you record massages at the house? Answer, that's not my job. Okay, you did from time to time record messages? Oh, messages now, not massages. Did someone spell it wrong up there? For providing massages. Oh, did you record messages at the house? Okay, sorry guys. Answer, it's not my job. Okay, did you from time to time record messages? Answer, hardly ever. Okay, but you did from time to time do it? Answer, I'm just saying I hardly ever took messages. Very, 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 very infrequently. Okay, I think one would have done. Anyway, okay, do you know if blank brought her friend blank over on that night? Answer, 1, I don't know what this message is. I don't know if I was in Palm Beach. I don't know who blank is. I don't know who blank is. And I don't know what this message is referring to. Okay, so on January 2nd, 2003, were you in Palm Beach? Answer, I don't know. Okay, would you have been where would you have been other than Palm Beach at the time? Answer, I could have been anywhere. Okay, where did you typically live? Answer, what are you asking me? I know they're talking legalese and that, but seriously? Okay, for example, in 2003, where was your primary residence? Was it wherever Jeffrey was living and staying, or was it independent of that? Answer, what was the date again? In 2003. Answer, at the end of 2003. Okay, at the beginning. Answer, I don't know. I could have been anywhere. Jeffrey and I were leading almost separate lives by then. Okay, if you were at the house that day, did you recall seeing anybody by the name of blank? Answer, I don't know if I was at the house, so I can't testify to that. Okay, let's flip back to the next page, the one we were on before the blank. The message towards the bottom that says for Jeffrey, message of Ghislane, and it says, would it be helpful to have, and then redacted, come to Palm Beach today and stay here, help train new staff with Ghislane? Who were you referring to in that message? Do you remember? And the question again, do you recall this message? Answer, I do not recall this message. Okay, do you recall training a female under the age of 18 at Jeffrey's home? Answer, I never trained a female under the age of 18 at Jeffrey's home. Okay, did you ever say it would be helpful to have a female under the age of 18 come to Palm Beach today and stay here and help train the new staff with Ghislane? Answer, I never asked anyone under the age of 18 to come help train new staff. Okay, I'm going to flip to the next page, which is blank. Well, why would you flip to it then? Answer, by the way, that's not my handwriting and it's not dated and I couldn't possibly tell you who that is. Did you hear that? Okay, you got your testimony in the record. Blank. Answer, yes. And Mr. Edwards interjects and says, Guthrie, blank. Okay, I'm going to direct your attention to the top right-hand corner for Mr. Epstein. Blank, message, blank, a phone number, and called. Do you know who blank is? Answer, I don't. Do you know that blank was 15 at the time she left this message? Answer, I don't know who blank is. Okay, then I'm going to direct your attention to the bottom left, which is a message, Jeffrey Epstein, or J.E. message of blank, and the message says, he just did a good one, 18 years. She spoke to me and I said I love Jeffrey? Was blank referring to sex with an 18-year-old in that message? Answer, how would I know what blank is referring to? Okay, do you know if blank had sex with an 18-year-old that he referenced to Jeffrey Epstein? Answer, how could I possibly know? Did Jeffrey Epstein or blank ever tell you that blank had sex with an 18-year-old? Answer, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, did they ever tell you that? Answer, I have no recollection of ever hearing such a ridiculous thing. Okay, I will turn to the next page, which is SAO 2841. I won't bother reading these. Do you have the Bates number and that? Okay, the bottom right-hand corner, Mr. Epstein, the date, blank, Miss Maxwell, it says, blank, it says, quote, blank is available on Tuesday, no one for tomorrow. Is this a message you took? Answer, it's not my handwriting and I don't know who R is. Okay, so when it says Miss Maxwell in the line there, is that you calling for Mr. Epstein? Answer, I didn't write it. I don't know when this message was taken. I don't even know what it's referring to and I don't know what my name is doing on that message pad. Okay, I know you said you only took them a few times. Do you have a recollection of taking messages of females who would call the house to indicate whether or not they were coming over? Answer, give me a date range. Okay, on the 9th of the 7th, 2004. Answer, how would I know if I'm in Palm Beach? Most likely not. Okay. Okay, I'm asking if you have recollection of taking messages for girls who would call the house. Answer, girls? Okay, females who would call the house. Answer, over the age of 18. Okay, blank is 15. Answer, I don't know who blank is, so I can't testify anything to blank. Okay, your name is on the message. Answer, I didn't put it there and I don't know what it's doing there. Okay, so your testimony is you didn't take this message? Answer, I obviously didn't take the message. It's signed by somebody R. It's not my handwriting. We don't know if I'm in Palm Beach. Okay, did you arrange for blank to have his friend blank come over on Tuesday of this week? Answer, I don't know who blank is, so it would be hard for me to arrange anything with someone I don't know. Okay, why is your name reflected on this message pad? Answer, I have no idea. You would have to ask whoever took the message. Okay, did you in the course of your work regularly take messages for Jeffrey Epstein? Answer, I already testified I hardly ever did. Okay, would you in the course of your work regularly set up appointments for females to come over and give massages for Jeffrey Epstein? Answer, can you specify? Females, you mean adults over the age of 18? Okay, did you regularly set up for Jeffrey adults over the age of 18 to come to massages? Answer, I didn't regularly do that, no. Okay, would you take messages with respect to females over the age of 18 to come over for a massage? Answer, I already testified I hardly ever did take messages. Okay, but would you? Answer, I already testified I hardly ever. Okay, I know hardly ever, but did you? Answer, over the course of time it is possible that I may have taken a couple. I have no recollection. I hardly ever did, and I did so irregularly that would have been hard for me to pinpoint. Okay, did you ever take a message for a female under the age of 18 to come over for a massage? or for any other reason to be with Jeffrey Epstein? Answer: I hardly ever took a message. I have absolutely no way of knowing. Maybe one of my friend's daughters called to say they were coming to visit me. I have never taken messages. I don't know about how I would possibly know if someone I spoke to 1 or 2 times I took a message is. What? How old they would be. But I have never taken a message where I was aware of anything being under the age of 18, and I probably took it so infrequently it would be impossible. Oh dear, that was a mouthful. And didn't she just say that she did sometimes? Okay. Can you turn to blank? It should be the next page. And she answers, Okay, do you see at the top it says for Mr. J, 8th of the 11th 04, then name is redacted. It says I have a female for him. Why would a minor be calling Jeffrey to say they have a female for him? Do you know? Answer: first of all, I don't know that's a minor. I don't know who took the message. Okay, I'll represent to you that these are police reports and minors' names have to be redacted for privacy purposes. Do you know why a minor child would be calling Jeffrey and leaving a message to say, quote, I have a female for him? Answer: I can't testify anything about this message. I don't know anything about it. Okay, I'm going to direct your attention to the next page, blank. If you look at the bottom left, you're going to see a message for Jeffrey from blank. It says she doesn't have a number and left a message that she called. Do you know who blank is? Answer: I do not. Okay, do you know that blank was 13 at the time she placed this call to Jeffrey? Answer: I don't know who blank is. Okay, would Jeffrey regularly have 13-year-olds call and leave messages? Answer: how would I possibly? These were messages taken when I was not at the house, and I have no idea who they are, nor how old they are, nor anything. Okay, how do you know you weren't at the house on this day? Answer: I was hardly at the house in 2005. Okay, so you could have been there, you just don't know. Answer: in the 5 days I might have been there in 2005. I suppose it's possible, but it's unlikely. Okay, Mr. Pag says, do you know why this isn't redacted if you are representing all the names of people who are underage have been redacted from these records? And Miss Macaulay says, I think it was, my assumption is it was a miss by the police department. Okay, I'll direct your attention to blank, so you will skip a page and go back. It's the final page in the message pads, and you'll see on the top left for Jeffrey. Sorry, I always read it this way because I know in the US you turn the date around. On the 1st of the 6th, 2005, from blank with a phone number. It says, quote, he has a teacher for you to teach you how to speak Russian. He has a teacher for you, comma, to teach you how to speak Russian. She is 2 times 8 years old, not blonde. Well, lessons are free and you can have her your first today if you call. And you can have your first today if you call. Oh, wow. Do you know whether blank sent a Russian girl that was 16 years old over to Jeffrey Epstein's home? Answer: I do not know. Okay, did you ever observe a Russian girl that was 16 years old come to Jeffrey Epstein's home? Answer: I'm not aware of any 16-year-old Russian girl that I can recall in Jeffrey Epstein's home. Okay, do you know whether Jeffrey Epstein had sex with a 16-year-old Russian girl? Answer: I do not know. And then the videographer states a time and the end of disc 3, off the record, afternoon session. Okay, Miss Maxwell, before the break we were talking about, and I think it's one of the exhibits that's marked in front of you, I'm not sure of the number, but the police report that I showed you earlier today. Now you have the knowledge of the police report and criminal investigation with respect to Jeffrey Epstein. Do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein abused any minor children? Answer: can you repeat the question, please? And break it down so it's more understandable. Okay, now that you have the police report that I showed you this morning that you had an opportunity to look at? Answer, you gave it to me. I did not look at it. Okay, the questions that I asked you about the police report, you are aware there is a police report? Answer, I'm aware there is a police report. Okay, you are aware there was a criminal investigation of Jeffrey Epstein? Answer, I'm aware there was that. Okay, now you're aware of those two things, and having talked to Jeffrey Epstein, do you believe Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? Answer, can you re-ask the second part of the question, please? Okay, sure. The two documents we were talking about, the document and the investigation you said you were aware of after having talked to Jeffrey Epstein. Do you believe Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? Answer, what do you mean I talked to Jeffrey? You need to break the question down further. Dear Lord. Okay, so you have the police report. Answer, I do. Okay, and you are aware of the criminal investigation. Answer, I am. Okay, let's take those two things. After knowing those two things, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein abused minor children? Answer, can you explain what you mean by the question actually? Okay, I think the question speaks for itself. I will try again. I will say it one more time because I want you to be able to understand it. I'm sorry for laughing, but it is ridiculous. It's that ridiculous that it's quite funny, but not, the subject matter is not funny at all. Maybe a bit of gallows humour happening, but yeah, she's just dancing around all over the place. Knowing that you have the police report here and knowing about the criminal investigation, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? Answer, I know what you put in front of me and I know what I read. Okay, I'm asking what you believe. Do you believe Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? Answer, I can only tell you what I read and what you showed me. Wow. I'm asking what you believe from your own belief. Do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein abused minors? Dear me. Answer, I can only go from what I know personally, and what I know personally about what Virginia's lies talked about. She is the only person I know that actually claimed that, and I can say with certitude that everything Virginia said was a lie. Okay, you're aware Jeffrey Epstein was sentenced for sexual abuse. Are you aware of that? Again, ask the question maybe in a bit of a different way. Are you aware that Jeffrey Epstein served time for sexual abuse of a minor? Answer, I don't believe that's what he was sentenced for, actually. Okay, so you don't know that Jeffrey Epstein served time for sexually abusing a minor? Answer, I don't believe that's what he was sentenced for. Okay, do you know that Jeffrey Epstein was convicted for procuring a minor for prostitution? Answer, I don't know exactly what he was convicted of. I don't know that he was convicted. I know he spent time in jail. Okay, do you know that he spent time in jail related to an issue with a minor child? Answer, I did not know that. Okay, what did you think he was spending time in jail for? Answer, I only know he went to jail for, it was alleged that he had an underage prostitute. Okay, so knowing that, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? Answer, I can only tell you what he went to jail for. Okay, I'm asking what you believe. I'm not asking what he went to jail for. I'm asking for your belief. Answer, I cannot testify to what I believe. I can only say that I have seen in the reports. And I know he went to jail. Okay, you can testify to what you believe. Do you believe? Answer, I can only testify. Okay, let me finish the question so the record is clear. Do you believe Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? You can answer. Answer, I can only testify to what I know. I know that Virginia is a liar and I know what she testified is a lie. So I can only testify to what I know to be a falsehood, and half those falsehoods are enormous, and so I can only categorically deny everything she has said, and that is the only thing I can talk about because I have no knowledge of anything else. Okay, I'm not asking about Virginia. I'm asking whether you believe Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors. Answer, again I repeat, I can only go on what I know, and what I know is a falsehood based on what Virginia said. Okay, do you believe Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? Answer, again, I repeat, Virginia is a liar, and based on Virginia's story, that is what she lied, and I can only then talk about what you've showed me in the police reports, and I know that he went to jail. Okay, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? I'm asking about your belief. Answer, I just repeat, I can only go, my belief is that Virginia is a liar. Okay, what is that belief? Answer, that she is an absolute liar and everything she says is a lie, and therefore everything that stems from that is a lie. Okay, so do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? Answer, again, can we move on from here? Okay, no, you're going to answer the question. Answer, I have already. Okay, no, you haven't. Answer, I have. Okay, do you believe Jeffrey Epstein abused minors? Answer, again, I repeat, the only person I know who has talked about these things that I have personally present was Virginia, and I can only talk to Virginia, and she is a liar. See, some of this doesn't really make sense either. Okay, setting aside Virginia, taking her out of the picture, it's my question. Answer, are we here today because of Virginia and her lies? Because this is a defamation suit. Oh no, hang on, sorry. We are here today because of Virginia and her lies, because this is a defamation suit. Okay, setting aside Virginia, do you believe Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? Answer, I cannot set aside Virginia because that's why we are here, and this is the only reason I'm sitting here in this room, and I will not set her aside, and I cannot comment about anything else except her because she's the only person I actually know about. Okay, you're refusing to answer that question. Answer, I'm not refusing the question. I can only testify about Virginia, who is an absolute total liar, and you all know she is. She lied about her age. You know she lied about absolutely everything. So I can only go on what I know as a liar, and she is a liar, an exaggerator, a fantasist, an absolutely true terrible person. Okay, I want you to listen very carefully. I am asking you to set aside Virginia. Answer, I can't set aside Virginia. Okay, I'm asking you to do that for purposes of this question. Apparently she doesn't have to, and she can refuse to answer the question. Answer, I'm not refusing to answer the question. Okay, you are refusing. My question has nothing to do with Virginia. Let me make the record here. My question has nothing to do with Virginia. I want that to be clear for the court. My question has nothing to do with Virginia. What I'm asking you is whether you believe Jeffrey Epstein abused minors. He believes that she answered the question. Mr. Pag does. Okay, then Miss Macaulay says, now you're testifying for the witness. Let her answer the question. Answer, again, I testified. My only personal knowledge concerns Virginia, and everything Virginia has said is an absolute lie, which is why we are here in this room. If you are asking me to testify about things I have no knowledge of, other than the police report that you showed me, I'm not in a position to make a statement based on that, because you're asking me to speculate, and I cannot speculate. Okay, I'm not asking you to speculate at all. I'm asking what you believe. Answer, you're asking me to speculate, and I won't speculate. Okay, I'm not asking you to speculate. I'm asking what you believe. Mr. Pag says she answered the question, and Miss Macaulay says she hasn't answered the question. Mr. Pag says we're not going to engage in this debate. She answered the question. If you want to mark it and move on to compel an answer to the question, have at it. Okay. Miss Maxwell, is it your belief that Jeffrey Epstein interacted sexually with minors? Answer, again, you're asking me the same type of question exactly, but with a different language. Again, my only knowledge of somebody who claims these things that I have personal knowledge of is Virginia. Virginia is an absolute liar, and everything she has said is a lie. Therefore, based on those lies, I cannot speculate on what anybody else did or didn't do, because if Virginia is an example of what that story is and everything she says is false, so everything that leads from that is false. Okay, so the 30 other minor children in the police report are also telling lies about being sexually abused during massages with Mr. Epstein. And then Mr. Pag interjects and asks, can you show me in these police reports who the 30 minors are? Miss Macaulay says, I'm asking my question. And Mr. Pag says, you're making a representation about numbers. You're making a representation on record about what people said or didn't say. We have no knowledge about that. These are all redacted records, so these are bad questions. They don't lead to any admissible evidence. It is only being propounded to the witness to harass her. So we are done with these questions. And Miss Macaulay says, are you done? And Mr. Pag says, yes. Okay, my question is, are you aware that Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of having relations with a minor child? Mr. Pag says she answered that already, and Miss Macaulay says, I'm getting to my next question. And Mr. Pag says, ask your next question, don't keep asking the same question. And Miss Macaulay says, you are now shouting. I want the record to reflect that you are interrupting the deposition. I ask you to calm down, take a deep breath, and please let me ask my questions. And Mr. Pag says, your behaviour is inappropriate. Okay, I'll ask you again, do you believe that Jeffrey Epstein interacted sexually with minors? Answer, again, I'll go back to this. My only actual knowledge is with Virginia, and Virginia is a liar. So I can only talk to what Virginia's story, and as I said before, there are so many examples, thousands of examples of her lies, that is the only thing I can talk to. Okay, based on what you do not believe that, you do not believe that Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused minors? Answer, again, as I said, I'm only talking to what I know. I can only talk to Virginia. She's a bit obsessed here. Okay, so is it your belief that Jeffrey Epstein did not sexually abuse minors? Answer, again, I can only talk to what I know, and I know that Virginia is a liar, and that what she said is a lie. So I can only testify to what she accused, and you guys put in the press for salacious purposes, and whatever terrible, inappropriate, unethical, and terrible reasons you choose to do that about me, and I can testify those are all lies. Wow. Okay, do you know whether Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused any minor children? Answer. Again, I only know 1000% that Virginia is a liar. I can only talk to Virginia, her lies, and your inappropriate, unethical, really unattractive, terrible use of her, and the way you have abused the system, used the press for purposes that are unethical, inappropriate, and appalling. Wow. You don't think that's happening now? Okay, yeah, it's happening all over the place. I don't think, it's not unusual, especially when you get a breaking story like this. Okay, do you believe Jeffrey Epstein used massage to lure minors to have sex with him? Answer, again, that is Virginia's testimony, which is a lie. Okay, but do you believe that? Again, answer again, I refer back to Virginia. Okay, I'm asking whether you believe it or not. Answer, I can only go with what I know, and I know Virginia is a liar, and therefore that's a lie. Okay, so you don't believe that. Answer, as I said, I only know that Virginia is lying. Okay, are you aware Jeffrey Epstein is a registered sex offender? Answer, I am. Okay, are you aware that Jeffrey Epstein paid considerable amounts of money to settle lawsuits with the minor children that he had sexual contact with? Answer, I have no knowledge of those issues. Okay, why did you continue to maintain contact with Jeffrey Epstein after he pled guilty? Answer, I'm a very loyal person, and Jeffrey was very good to me when my father passed away. And I believe that you need to be a good friend in people's hour of need, and I felt that it was a very thoughtful, nice thing for me to do to help in a very limited fashion, which was helping if he had any issue with his homes in terms of staffing issues. It was very, very minor, but I felt it was thoughtful in somebody's hour of need. Okay, did he continue to pay you during that period of time? Answer, I was paid a little. Okay, you were paid. Answer, yes. Okay, when you say a little, what did you mean by that? Answer, I don't recall exactly the amount. Okay, so in 2009 when you left him, what were you being paid? Answer, I just told you, I don't recall. Didn't you say between 100 and 200,000 yesterday? I mean, in the previous pages? Okay, answer, I don't recall. Because, the question was, were you being paid $100,000? Okay. Okay, were you paid over $1 million? Answer, I think I'd remember over $1 million. Okay, so it was under $1 million. Answer, it was under $1 million. Okay, was it over 500,000? Answer, I just told you it was under 500. It was amount of money less than 500,000, less than $1 million, that I did it out of thoughtfulness and consideration for somebody who was in trouble. Then why are you getting paid for it? Okay, did you have an attorney to consult with during the criminal investigation of Jeffrey Epstein? Answer, I don't believe I did. Okay, when did you learn that a search warrant was executed for the Palm Beach house? Answer, I don't recall exactly. Okay, were you present at the house in advance of the search warrant being executed? Answer, I don't remember when the search warrant was executed, and I don't remember the year that the search warrant was executed, and whenever that was, I already testified I was very, very infrequently at the house. So highly unlikely, but I was there a couple of days. I just don't know which days it was in relation to the police station. Okay, did you have a computer at the Palm Beach home? That was a computer that you would use? Answer, no. Okay, was there a computer available for use in the Palm Beach house? Answer, can you be more specific? Okay, was there anywhere in the Palm Beach house where there was a computer where you said you worked for him and there were other staff in the house? Was there ever a computer in the Palm Beach mansion that was accessible by you or other staff? Answer, I stopped being regularly at the house sometime in 2003. So from 2003 to when the police search was executed, I have no memory of what was there, what there was, or what there was not. I can only testify for what there was there when I was present, largely. Okay, so in 2003, when you were still there, was there a computer that was accessible to you or other staff at the house? Answer, there was a desktop computer that people could use, just like you would use if you needed to go online to get something that people could use. Okay, was that on a desk that you would use in your work capacity when you were at the house? Answer, it was a desk, it was a room, I didn't really use that computer. Wow. Okay, there were images of naked girls, whether they be under or over the age of 18, under the age of 18 or over the age of 18 on that computer. Answer, I have no recollection of any naked people on that computer when I was there in 2003. We were talking. Okay, what about from, say, 99 to 2003? Answer, no, I can't recollect any naked pictures. Okay, why were the computers removed from the house before the search warrant was executed? Answer, I have no knowledge of anything like that. Okay, do you know where the computers are now? Answer, I don't know what computers you are talking of, and I have no idea what you are referencing. Okay, in 2003 you said there was a computer in a room on a desk. Answer, right. Okay, do you know where that computer is now? Answer, I do not. Okay, did you take pictures of nude females in any of Epstein's home, or in and around the homes, out by the pool, or anywhere like in the Palm Beach home, the New York home, the USVI home, or the New Mexico home? Answer, can you repeat the question? And the question is asked again. Answer, I think we need to distinguish between anyone under the age of 18 and over the age of 18. Okay, we'll start with, did you take pictures of nude females in or around any of Jeffrey's homes, of women or females that were under the age of 18? Answer, no. Did you take pictures of nude females? Answer, nude you mean with no clothing on. Okay, or half nude with no top on. Any sort of nakedness to an individual. In any of Jeffrey's homes, either Palm Beach, New Mexico, USVI, or New York, either outside by the pool, anywhere in or around those homes, of females over the age of 18. Answer. So it is possible that I took pictures of people that were somehow semi or had some clothing on or no clothes on, but at no time were any of these pictures remotely inappropriate. They were, you could see them in a mainstream magazine today. There would be no inappropriateness. They would be covered, concealed, you wouldn't see anything at all. The type of, first, I took very few, and they were always by request. This was a picture you could put on your gift to your parent or your grandparents to put on their mantelpiece. Really? Half naked? I wouldn't even, not even suggestively, give my parent or grandparents a suggestive photo, let alone a half naked or a full naked one. It would be a very benign sort of attractive picture where you wouldn't see anything. I still wouldn't do it. So that's really weird. Okay, who would request those pictures? Answer. From time to time, people, men and women would ask to have nice photographs of them taken. Okay, and did Jeffrey Epstein request those pictures? Answer. I don't ever recall him asking me to take pictures. Okay, did you give him pictures of naked females as a present? Answer. I don't recall ever giving present of. I don't know why a photograph would constitute a gift. Okay, not as a gift. Do you recall ever giving Jeffrey Epstein pictures that you've taken of these individuals in a naked state? Answer. First of all, we've already established they are not naked state photographs. Okay, a piece of them being naked as you described. Answer. I said they would be attractive, as you would see in mainstream magazines. And those pictures could be a picture of a hand or a foot. What? They didn't necessarily constitute. I know where you are headed with this, and it's nowhere appropriate, and it's really unattractive. Okay, lots of obfuscation going on here. Wow. Okay, I'm not headed anywhere. I'm just asking the questions. Did you give Jeffrey Epstein any of these pictures you took of females in the state that you described? Answer. I can't recall ever giving him pictures, but it's possible that I took pictures of people that would end up, or a friend of his that he would have, not naked or not inappropriate in any way, that he might have somewhere in his house. Okay, name for me all the individuals who you took these pictures of. Answer. It's entirely impossible for me to name them. First of all, it would not be possible. I took thousands of photos, not of people. I mostly take pictures of landscapes and things. I have no recollection specifically of people that I took pictures of. Okay, so you can't remember. It is your testimony. You can't remember one person that you took a picture of in either a naked or semi-naked state? Answer. I seriously cannot recall. I just don't recall. Okay, did you take a picture of Virginia Roberts either alone or with another individual in a naked state? Answer. I have never taken, I believe, any pictures of two people in any type of situation naked as you describe. Well, then what was she talking about, the half-naked? Yeah, she didn't mean a hand or a foot. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Okay, did you take a picture of Virginia Roberts on her own without another individual in it, in a naked state? Answer. I don't recall ever taking a picture of Virginia naked. We are not referring to someone with no clothing on at all. We are referring to someone that could be semi-clad or would have a towel, or we are not referring to anything inappropriate. Okay, was this a hobby of yours to take pictures of the type that you are describing? Answer. I just testified I didn't take pictures of many people. My preference is pictures for landscapes and for architectural pieces. Okay, where are those pictures today? Answer. I have no idea. Okay, do you have them in your home? Answer. I do not. Okay, do you have them on your computer? Answer. I do not. Okay, was Jeffrey Epstein told... What has Jeffrey Epstein told you about the allegation related to the criminal investigation that he was involved in? Answer. I really can't say. Not because I don't want to say, but I just think of what he has said to me over the course of this time. Okay, did he explain it to you and explain what the charges were against him? Answer: I never had a detailed conversation with him as I recall. Okay, not detailed. Just did he explain anything that was happening to him? Answer: I haven't spoken to him for so long. I can't possibly testify to what conversations I had with him over the course of time. Okay, did he talk to you about any of the girls that were making allegations against him other than Virginia? Answer: you're talking about the police records again, all of that. Okay, yes. Answer: I have never had a conversation about those things. Okay, what has Jeffrey Epstein told you about Virginia Roberts? Answer: that she is a liar. Okay, what does he base that on? Answer: you would have to check with him. I can tell you why I think she is a liar. I'm happy to do that. Okay, did he tell you that he did not have sexual relations with Virginia Roberts? Answer: I can only testify what I know. Okay, I'm asking, has he told you that he did not have sexual relations with Virginia Roberts? Answer: I can only tell you what I know about Virginia Roberts. I cannot tell you what he knows about Virginia Roberts. Okay, I'm asking, did he tell you that he did not have sexual relations with Virginia Roberts? Answer: all he told me is she is a liar. Okay, that's all he said about Virginia Roberts? Answer: we went through all the lies that you have sold to the papers and sold in general, and we have analysed her lies and your inappropriate behaviour in detail. Okay, did he ever say that he did not have sexual relations with Virginia Roberts? Answer: I just testified that we went through all of her lies. Okay, I understand what you said. I'm asking you a question. Did he ever tell you that he never had sex with Virginia Roberts? Answer: I don't recall whether he ever... I don't know I ever had that question. We focused on the lies she did say she had with him, as relates to me. I don't remember asking him about his problems with her. I'm interested in what she says about myself. Okay, did you also talk about what things that Virginia Roberts was saying that were true? Answer: there isn't anything that she said that was true. Okay, nothing she said that you are aware of is true? Answer: I think she's correct when she talks about what her name is. Okay, anything else? Answer: I'm sure there must be one or two other details, but they are so far and few between I'd have to look in detail at all of her allegations to pinpoint what possibly could be true. Okay, did you ever ask Jeffrey if he had sex with minors? Answer: I've never been asked that question. Okay, you never asked him that question? What analysis did Jeffrey do to determine that the statements Virginia Roberts were making were lies? An answer: ask me again, please, so they do. Okay, he's objected again, and to the extent that any of this answer calls for any privileged communication, I'm instructing with myself or another lawyer representing you, or in any common interest agreement, I'm instructing you not to answer. Okay, Miss Macaulay, the court ruled she is entitled, and you had to produce documents about communications with Jeffrey. That's what I'm asking about. I'm not asking about communications with lawyers. Okay, I'm asking what analysis did Jeffrey do to determine that the statements that Virginia Roberts was making were lies, if you know? Okay, and he objects again to the extent she learned any of that information as a result of either a privileged communication from a lawyer, one of her lawyers, or a privileged communication subject to a joint defence agreement or common interest agreement. I'm telling her not to answer. The extent she has information outside of those things, she is permitted to answer. Well, okay, do you understand? So if it was a conversation with a lawyer, which I'm not asking about, I don't want you to tell me about your conversations with lawyers. I want you to tell me whether Jeffrey Epstein ever told you what he analysed in order to determine which of what Virginia was saying were lies. Answer: I do not know what he did know. So you agree she is lying, Singrid? It's apparently what Maxwell called this lady. And the lady says, I do not agree with that, and I'm asking the questions. Answer, you just said her lies. Okay, I'm repeating a statement you made. Are you saying it's an obvious lie that Jeffrey Epstein engaged with sexual conduct with Virginia while Virginia was underage? Answer, I can only testify to what I saw and what I was present for. So if you're asking me what I saw, then I'm happy to testify. I cannot testify to what somebody else did or didn't do. Okay, did you issue a statement blank blank in 2015 stating that Virginia Roberts' claims were, unquote, obvious lies? And they say you can answer. Answer, you need to re-ask me the question. Okay, so they re-ask the question. Answer, can you ask it in a different way, please? So they ask again. Answer, so my lawyer blank instructed blank to issue a statement. Okay, today, did you say that Virginia lied about, quote, absolutely everything? Answer, I have said that there are some things she may not have lied about. Okay, so are you saying it's an obvious lie that Jeffrey Epstein engaged in sexual contact with Virginia while Virginia was underage? Answer, can you ask the question again? So they do. Answer, try again, please. Wow. Okay, well, I'll ask it again in case you forgot what she was asking. Are you saying that it's an obvious lie that Jeffrey Epstein engaged in sexual conduct with Virginia while Virginia was underage? Answer, again, I'm telling you, first of all, it was a statement that was issued by my lawyer and through my lawyer blank. Okay, I understand that. I'm asking you, are you saying that it's an obvious lie that Jeffrey Epstein engaged in sexual conduct with Virginia while Virginia was underage? Is that a lie? Answer, so I cannot testify to what blank, blank and blank decided to put. I can testify to what Virginia's obvious lies are as regards to me. I cannot make representations about all the many lies she may or may not have told about Jeffrey. Okay, so is Virginia lying when she says is it an obvious lie when she says that she had sex with Jeffrey Epstein while she was underage? Answer, again, I'm testifying to what I know to be true. I can only testify to all the many lies she told me about me. I cannot testify to what lies she told about somebody else. Given she told so many about me, one can probably infer she's lying about everything. Okay, so you think she's lying when she said she had sex with Jeffrey Epstein when she was underage? Answer, again, I can only talk about what I can positively say myself, not what somebody else is going to represent. Okay, when you were saying that her claims of having sex with Jeffrey Epstein were obvious lies, are you saying she is lying about engaging in sexual conduct with Jeffrey Epstein when she was underage? Answer, again, this was a statement that was put out from my lawyer, blank, blank, and I can only testify to the obvious lies that she says about me. I cannot make representations about lies she says about someone else. But she lies so many times about me, one can probably infer she's lying about everything. Okay, so she's not lying when... Is she telling the truth when she says she had sex with Jeffrey Epstein when she was underage? Answer, again, I don't know how else to tell you. I can only talk about what I know to be true. What I know is her story about how she claims that initial situation happened is so egregiously false and such a giant, fat, enormous, repulsive, disgusting, inappropriate, vile lie that I can only testify to. Yeah, so you don't need... This is overdoing it a bit. Okay. Was she lying when she said she met you at Mar-a-Lago? Answer, again, I already testified. I don't recall meeting her at Mar-a-Lago. Answer, we showed you a document where you said you met her at Mar-a-Lago when she was 17. Is that correct? Answer, I think I already testified to that. What I remembered based on all the rubbish she has written and all the many articles I've read, maybe in the moment when I wrote that, have caused me to have that, but on reflection I don't recall it as I sit here today. Okay, are you saying it was an obvious lie that you're that you approached Virginia while she was underage at Mar-a-Lago? Answer. First of all, we can all agree here, all of you sitting here, that the lies that you perpetrated in the press, that she was 15, and we should all agree now that that is fake, a lie, that was perpetrated between all of you to make the story more exciting. Can we agree on that? Okay, that is not my question. Answer. Can we agree she was not the age she said, and you put that in the press? That is obviously, manifestly, absolutely, totally a lie. Do you see? She just keeps over it. When you keep going, you just say that's obviously a lie. You don't have to keep going. That is protesting too much. Miss Macaulay, I'm going to put on the record Miss Maxwell very appropriately and very harshly pounded our law firm table in an inappropriate manner. I ask that she take a deep breath and calm down. I know this is a difficult position, but physical assault or threats is not appropriate. So no pounding, no stomping. No, that's not appropriate. Answer. Can we be clear I didn't threaten anybody? Then Mr. Pag, stop. You made your record. There's no dent in the table. I don't see any chips. Can we take a break now? Okay, so then they take a break. Okay. So they come back again. Okay. Miss Maxwell, how old was Virginia Roberts when you met her at Mar-a-Lago? Answer. I know today that she was 17 years old. Are you saying that it's obvious? Okay, are you saying it's an obvious lie that Virginia travelled on Jeffrey Epstein's airplanes? Oh, baby. I've got a cat again. You can answer. Answer. Are you referring to my statement where that says that? Okay, I'm referring to the language you use in your statement that says obvious lies. Answer. Can you read my entire statement? Okay, sure, let me pass it out. Maxwell Exhibit 10, email marked for identification. This is Bates GM 00068, and we will mark it as what you have in front of you is a statement at the top. This was produced by your counsel. It is indicated Bates number GM 00068 at the top. The date reflects January 2nd. Appears to be a blank. Subject line is you, and then there is a number of individuals you can see at the top that are copied on this, that is sent to and BCC'd on this statement. The statement, there are two parts of it. There is an opening email that says, please find attached a quotable statement on behalf of Ms. Maxwell, and there is more language there, and it is from blank, and then it says in the body of it, Jane Doe number 3, or Jane Doe number 3 is Virginia Roberts, so not a new individual. The allegations made by, and it says Victoria, but I believe that means Virginia Roberts, against Ghislane Maxwell are not true. The original allegations are not new and have been fully responded to and shown to be untrue. And the next paragraph says, each time the story is retold, it changes with new salacious details about public figures and world leaders, and now it is alleged by Miss Roberts that Blank is involved in having sexual relations with her, which he denies. Ms. Roberts' claims are obvious lies and should be treated as such, and not publicised as news as they are defamatory. The last paragraph states Ghislane Maxwell's original response to the lies and defamatory claims remains the same. Maxwell strongly denies allegations of the blank, strongly denies allegations of an unsavoury nature which have appeared in the British press and elsewhere, reserves her right to seek redress at the repetition of such old defamatory claims. Are you saying that it's an obvious lie that Virginia Roberts travelled on Jeffrey Epstein's planes? Answer. I'm saying what is an obvious lie, and I think we can all agree. You just had the case tossed out by blank. He just got removed from the case because you put him in a case that he wasn't supposed to be in. So what was said about him is not true. Okay, are you saying that it's an obvious lie that Virginia Roberts travelled on Jeffrey Epstein's plane? Answer. You have given me plane records that has her name on it, but as I already testified, those aren't federally mandated things, and I can see her name on it, but that's what I I told you I don't recall her on any of the planes. Okay, is that one of Virginia's obvious lies? Answer, there are more obvious ones. Okay, is that one of them? Answer, I can't testify to her being on a plane or not. Okay, so is that an obvious lie? Answer, there are more obvious lies like blank. Okay, I understand there are more obvious ones. I'm asking you, is the fact that she said she travelled on Epstein's plane an obvious lie? Answer, I think we can probably say because you see her name on a plane record and she went from A to B, that would not be the obvious lie that I would pick. Okay, what obvious lie were you picking when you made this statement? Answer, there are so many that I would be thrilled to go through all of them. Okay, let's go through them. What's the first one? Answer, her characterisation of the first meeting at Mar-a-Lago. Okay, what part of that was an obvious lie? Answer, the characterisation that she said that she was accosted. She looked like... I'm going blind, guys. As best as I can recall, if I met her in Mar-a-Lago, as she claims, she worked at Mar-a-Lago, she claims, and her statement she worked at Mar-a-Lago, she would have been dressed as all the spa people in Mar-a-Lago would have been. It would have been impossible to identify her as someone other than someone who worked at a spa. She made many claims. She has been a bathroom attendant, front of house attendant. We don't know what she was, so her obvious lies are her contradictory of her own personal statements within that. Okay, so what part of a statement relating to Mar-a-Lago? Answer, I'm carrying on. Okay, I'm sorry, I thought you were done. Answer, please. Her statement also that she was driven by her father to Palm Beach. She was driven by her mother. As a matter of fact, her whole entire characterisation of the first meeting with Jeffrey as I was outside speaking to her mother. Okay, let me stop you there so we don't get too far ahead. Let me make sure I understand your testimony. First, in the first piece when you were talking, I believe you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that her characterisation of the first meeting at Mar-a-Lago was an obvious lie. What part of that meeting was an obvious lie? Answer, by her own testimony, all her various many different descriptions of what she was or wasn't, or where she was or wasn't, they've all changed. She was either front of house or bathroom attendant. I don't know what she was, so just by her own words, one doesn't know what's true and what isn't true. Okay, are you saying what position she said she was working in? Is that what you are considering the obvious lie? Answer, I said inconsistency within her own statement from everything. So in the beginning it starts off with different statements. Okay, then I believe you said the second piece was that she was driven by her father. Answer, I said she was driven by her mother. Okay, that's the obvious lie? Answer, it's an obvious lie to me. Okay, you said why don't you state in your own words but the characterisation of how she was with Jeffrey. What about that is an obvious lie? Answer, I was standing outside talking to her mother, so the entire story is a fabrication. Okay, did she not have sex with Jeffrey Epstein during that first massage? Answer, I was talking to her mother, so... Okay, so do you know whether that's an obvious lie? Whether she had sex in that room or not? Answer, her story about what happened. Let's also be... The story as first hit the press was that somebody else led her to Jeffrey's room. It was not me, and then it turned to being me. So we have obviously important inconsistency. Lie in my blank. That's how I would characterise a lie. It cannot be me or somebody else. It can only be one or the other. Okay, who is the other person she said took her to the room? Answer, why don't you ask her? Okay, I'm asking you. Answer, how would I possibly know? Okay, you're saying that's a lie. Answer, it was a lie in the papers. She said it in the newspaper. It was in the newspaper. Okay, how do you know she wasn't identifying you? Answer, she said somebody. Okay, how do you know that somebody wasn't you? Answer, why did it suddenly become me? Why not say it was me and be done with it? Okay, so it's a lie because she originally may not have named you and then named you later? Answer. It's obviously inconsistent to somebody who wasn't me. Oh dear. How do you know? Okay, how do you know it wasn't you? Answer. I know it wasn't me because I was talking to her mother. Okay, but then she named you. Is that what you were saying? Answer. That's an obvious lie. Okay, she named you? Answer. It's an obvious lie because I wasn't even in the house. Okay, is it an obvious... Who did lead her up to Jeffrey's room while you were talking to her mother? Answer. You would have to ask Virginia. I don't know if she was led up to his room. Okay, you were standing with the mother, is that correct? Answer. That's correct. Okay, who was working at the house that day? Answer. Blank. Answer. Would blank typically lead someone up the room? Oh no, this is obviously the question. Would blank typically lead someone up to the room where Jeffrey was having a massage? Answer. I don't know. She was led up to the room to have a massage. Okay, she would have found her way on her own? Answer. I would suggest that the entire story never happened at all in any of its form. Okay, if you stood outside with the mother, what do you think happened inside then? Answer. I believe that somebody, it wasn't me, blank probably took her to meet Jeffrey Epstein, blank blank. Okay, did Jeffrey tell you that? Answer. No, but that would have been normal interaction. I don't believe for a second. I know her entire characterization didn't happen because I was outside talking to her mother the entire time. Okay, why would she have come for a massage and not given a massage? Answer. We are talking about her characterization of the first time she came to the house. Okay, if I'm following you correctly, you're saying she walked in and would have gone to someone. It's your assumption she would have gone and talked to Jeffrey and left? Answer. When I was working for Jeffrey, typically he would meet someone before getting a massage from them to see if he wanted to have a massage from them, typically. Okay, so he would not have someone come up to the room and start a massage? Answer. He would not. Okay, so the young girls in the police report who said they came over and were led up to the room on the first day, would they be wrong about that? Answer. I can't comment what happened when I was not at the house. I can only comment when I was at the house. Okay, was there ever a time when a woman came to the house for the first time to give a massage and Jeffrey had the massage that day? Answer. Can we talk about adult professional masseuses, please? Okay, I'm asking whether adult or underage. Answer. I'm not interested in talking about underage. I can only testify to what I know. Professional masseuses, adult. I cannot testify to anything else. Okay, why can't you testify to an underage girl that came over and was led up to the room for a massage? Answer. The police records you're referring to? Okay, you're saying that didn't happen. You're saying I can only testify to adults that came up for an interview and were led up to the room. Why can't you testify to whether an underage girl was brought in for an interview and led up? Go ahead. Answer. Can you re-ask the question? So they ask her again. Answer. You've mangled your entire question. Could you please re-ask that in a way that I can answer it correctly? Okay, why can you not testify as to whether an underage girl... You said you can testify as to females that were over the age of 18. Why can't you testify as to whether an underage girl came over for an interview and on the same day? Answer. I don't know what you mean by interview. Okay, you just said that Jeffrey Epstein interviewed. It was your word, interviewed the masseuses before they gave massages. Is that correct? Answer. The word interview is making me... I'm English, so you could have some difficulty understanding the way I communicate. Okay, I'm using your word. Answer. Then I will reuse it in a different word. He would meet them because receiving a massage is something you want to make sure you're comfortable with the person, and so interview is not the correct word, but you would meet them to have a conversation with them to see if you wanted to have a massage with that person. Okay, did Jeffrey Epstein ever meet an underage girl and on the same day receive a massage from that girl? Answer. I can't possibly testify to what happened after I was not at the house. Okay, if you are aware at any time you were at the house, did you ever see that? Answer. I can only testify to people who were adult professional masseuses who came to the house. I cannot testify to something I'm not party to and don't know about. I can only testify to what I saw. So when professional adult masseuse, male or females, would come to the house, typically when I was there, typically he would meet with them prior, to have a conversation with them about their experience, whatever, to decide whether it would be then A, if he had time for a massage or at that time, or B, whether he would have a massage, he could have a massage at that moment. Okay, was Virginia an adult when she came over? Was she over 18? Answer, I think we established, as of today, we are all aware, everyone in this room, that she was 17. Okay, so you've been present when a minor was brought over for a massage for Jeffrey. Answer, can I say, as you were able to have a massage at 17, so she came as a masseuse? Okay, I'm not saying whether or not you were able to. I'm saying you've been present at Jeffrey's home when an underage minor has come over to give him a massage. Answer, that's not how that works. You are able to be a masseuse at 17, so she came to give something for a massage. At 17, you are able to come and give a massage. Okay, I'm not asking whether she is able to do it. I'm asking whether you were present at the home when a girl under the age of 18 came over for the purposes of giving a massage. Answer, you can be professional masseuse at 17 in Florida. So as far as I'm aware, a professional masseuse showed up for a massage. There is nothing inappropriate or incorrect about that, and your mischaracterization of it, I think is unfortunate. Okay, how many teenagers did he have that were professional masseuses that worked in his home? Answer, first of all, I'm not aware of teenagers who worked in his home. Okay, you're aware of Virginia Roberts and you've stated she was 17 and she worked for him, correct? Answer, no, I did not state that at all. You are mischaracterizing my words and what I said. What I said was that we can all agree, and I think at this point there is not one person in this room, however much you would like her to be younger, to say she was not 17, because that has been a very offensive thing you've all done. So she was 17. At 17, you're allowed to be a professional masseuse, and as far as I'm concerned, she was a professional masseuse. There is nothing inappropriate or incorrect about her coming at that time to give a massage. Her entire characterization of her first time at the house was to me an obvious lie. Given it was irresponsible for her entire story to take place, given I was speaking to her mother the entire time she was at the house. Okay, so was it possible? So it was impossible that day, that first day she came and you were speaking to the mother, for Virginia Roberts to have had sex with Jeffrey Epstein during the time that you were outside with the mother? Answer, you again are completely mischaracterizing. I can only testify to what I heard. Obvious lies about me, and her obvious lies about me are that she, as you put out to the papers and every other which way, went upstairs with her. Didn't happen. So that to me is an absolute obvious lie. I don't believe that her mischaracterizations of the length of time she was there, because as I recall, she just met with Jeffrey and then left with her mother. That's my recollection. Okay, so you were standing outside the entire time that Virginia was in the house. Is that correct? Answer, that's correct. Okay, so can you testify as to whether or not, do you know either from Jeffrey or any other source whether or not Virginia Roberts had sex with Jeffrey on that first day she was at the house? Answer, we can categorically state absolutely 1000% that she did not have any type of sexual relations as described by you in your court papers that took place, because those allegedly, according to her lies, involved some aspect of me. Now, where have we heard that before? She did not have any type of sexual relations. Yes, as I was standing outside with her mother the entire time, her entire story is a lie. Therefore, to ask me what she did or didn't do during that time, I can only testify to what she said about me, which was 1000% false. Okay, so let's not take the first time. Let's take the next time she comes. Answer, no, how can you do that? When the basis of this entire horrible story that you've put out is based on this first appalling story that was written, repeated multiply by the press that lied about her age, lied about the first time she came, lied about and characterized the entire first time. I've been so absolutely appalled by her story and appalled by the entire characterisation of it, and I apologise sincerely for my banging the table earlier. I hope you accept my apology. It's born out of years of feeling the pressure from this entire lie that she has perpetrated from our first time, and whilst I recognise that was blank, I hope you forgive me sincerely because it was just the length of time that terrible story has been told and retold and rehashed when I know it to be 100% false. Okay, so not the first time she came, but the second time she came, or the third time she came, or any time she came, did you ever participate in a massage with her in Jeffrey Epstein's room? Answer: I've never participated at any time with Virginia in a massage with Jeffrey. Okay, have you ever participated at any time with Virginia in any kind of sexual contact or sexual touching with Jeffrey and Virginia? Answer: I have not. Okay, so we were going through the list of obvious lies and you were talking about the first time, which I believe we have completed, but you can add to that if you need to. What other obvious lies did Virginia Roberts tell that you were referring to in your statement? Answer: oh my goodness, well, I think we can totally cover the blank story, the story that I flew with blank and there was a dinner with other people and that entire thing is 100% fictitious. I've testified for the record, and I'm happy to do it again, that I've never flown blank myself as a pilot in a helicopter at any time, any place, at any time, to any part of the world. Okay, what other obvious lies were you referring to? Answer: she was referring to blank. She's referring to a bunch of people. I don't believe blank ever came to the island at any time ever. I don't even know blank actually. Okay, just one moment. I want to hear all of them. But when you say you don't believe blank ever came to the island, do you know whether blank ever came to the island? Answer: blank never came to the island. Okay, how do you know that? Answer: Jeffrey doesn't know him. I don't know him, and I don't think blank had blank gone to the island during the period when I would have been involved in organising a trip. I would have been aware of it. Okay, so go ahead. You had another one? Answer: it would be easier if I could see. Do you mind if I take a reference at some of these newspaper articles, or do you just want me to go from memory? Her entire characterisation of what took place in London at my house with blank blank. Okay, was it an obvious lie that she was at your house in London? Answer: we can't really establish the photograph and all that. I don't know if that's true, if that's a real picture or not. Okay, so do you dispute that you were actually photographed in your townhome in London? Answer: I don't recognise that picture. I'm not sure if that's a real picture or not. Okay, and have you talked to blank about the picture? Answer: we discussed Virginia's entire trail and he asked me if he even knew her. Okay, so did blank tell you that he did not have sex with Virginia Roberts? Answer: he doesn't even know who Virginia Roberts is. Okay, did he tell you that he didn't have sex with her? Answer: it would be difficult to have sex with someone you don't know. Okay, he may not remember her. Answer: I think the inference is he didn't know who she was. He didn't have any recollection of her whatsoever. Okay, has blank ever come to your London town home? Answer: yes. Ever being the entire time I owned my house? Yes. Can I go on her obvious lies? Okay, if you have more. Answer: I have her entire characterisation. I took her shopping in Burberry and bought her a very expensive dress, and if this photo were real, and if this is, I would never. The outfit doesn't work at all. So, okay, do you not remember taking her shopping, or are you saying it's an obvious lie? You know you did not take her shopping. Answer: I did not take her shopping. I did not buy her a $5,000 handbag. Okay, did Jeffrey buy her a $5,000 handbag? Answer: her accusation was that I did. Okay, do you know if Jeffrey bought her a handbag during the trip to London? Answer: I don't know what he did, She accused me. I can't physically remember buying a $5,000, not for her, not for anyone, not for me. Okay, did you ever go shopping with Virginia? Answer, I don't recall ever shopping with Virginia. Okay, did you have more to go over, or did you want me to ask my questions? Answer, the entire characterisation of what took place in my house in London would have been impossible. Okay, can I ask, do you still have it? The picture of the London town home with you in it. And Guthrie, as you're looking at this picture, Miss Maxwell, as I'm looking at it, it's on the right-hand side. There appears to be a picture hanging on the wall. Do you recall that picture in your London town home? Answer, it's a little difficult to see. Okay, do you recall having a picture on the wall there by the room where you're standing? Answer, I do have a picture. Okay, do you recall on the left-hand side having a railing that looks like that with a sort of bubble wood top? Answer, I do. Okay, so are you saying that it's an obvious lie that Virginia's statement she had sex with blank is an obvious lie? Answer, what I'm representing is that her entire ludicrous and absurd story of what took place in my house is an obvious lie. Okay, including that she had sex with blank? Answer, she claimed things took place in my bathroom in London. Her characterisation is just not possible. Okay, so you're saying it's an obvious lie, that she was telling an obvious lie when she said she has sex with blank. Answer, I'm saying within the context of all the stories she told, this particular story, back up. She claimed we went out at night, blank, and a whole lot of blank. She characterised the blank, blank, blank. She then characterised things took place in my bathroom in the bathtub itself. The tub is too small for any type of activity whatsoever. The next question's blanked out. The answer is also blanked out. And pretty much the next question is too, but the answer is yes. That would be blank, yes. Okay, you're saying that it was an obvious lie when Virginia said that you made her dress up in a schoolgirl outfit. Answer, I already testified that, first of all, I don't know what you are talking about. I already testified I didn't get her outfits and all of that. Okay, is it an obvious lie that Virginia was paid to go and give a massage to blank? Answer, I cannot testify to what Virginia did outside of blank. I can't testify to what she did, who she gave massages to. Okay, so you don't know on that one. Answer, of course I don't know. Okay, do you agree that it's psychologically harmful to have sex with a minor? Answer, what are you asking me? Okay, I'm asking if it's psychologically harmful for an adult to have sex with a minor. Answer, I don't know what you're asking. This has nothing to do with Virginia Roberts. Okay, it does. Answer, how does it? Okay, I ask the questions, you answer. If you can't answer, you say I don't know. But my question is, do you agree that it's psychologically harmful to have sex with a minor? Answer, are you giving me a random question? And as not relates to this case and not relates to anything, it's obviously not something that you want to have happen. Okay, do you agree that Jeffrey Epstein has harmed many minors by having sex with them? Answer, I can't testify to what Jeffrey did or didn't do. I have no knowledge of what you're asking me. Okay, if Jeffrey had sex with minors, would you agree that that could harm a minor? Answer, again, I'm not testifying to what Jeffrey did or didn't do because I cannot. Okay, you don't know whether Jeffrey Epstein ever had sex with a minor. Answer, again, I cannot testify to what Jeffrey did or didn't do. I cannot. Okay, you've never observed him as having sex with a minor? Answer, I never observed Jeffrey having sex with a minor. Okay, do you agree that calling a sex abuse victim a liar when she speaks about her abuse can cause psychological harm? Answer, can you repeat the question? So they ask it again. And she says, her answer is, say it again. And so they ask it again. Do you think it can cause a minor psychological harm? Answer, I would like to say all the terrible things Virginia Roberts said about me is extremely harmful, and you should turn that around. All the lies she has said, and you have backed her on, have been extremely damaging to me. So what I can testify to is that somebody who has made these outrageous allegations and who is a serious liar, and that I know for a fact is a liar, that I can testify is damaging to me. Okay, do you agree that calling a sexual abuse victim a liar when she speaks out about her abuse can cause psychological harm? Mr. Pag says, are you asking a hypothetical question? Ms. Macaulay says, yes. Answer, you are asking me to speculate? Okay, I'm not asking you to speculate. If somebody is a sexual abuse victim, answer, I can't testify to what some random hypothetical person that you're asking me to speculate on their mental health or health versus speculative statement. I can't do that. It's just not right. Okay, do you agree that by calling Virginia Roberts a liar when she was subject to sexual abuse by Jeffrey Epstein can cause psychological harm? He objects again. Answer, I can only tell you about what I know of Virginia's lies. She lied repeatedly, often, and I know for a fact she is a liar, so I can only testify to what I know and the fact that she has lied about me from the beginning to the end and repeatedly causes me to question anything that she may feel. Okay, is it an obvious lie that you had sex toys in Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach house? Answer, can you repeat the question? Again, it was asked. Answer, did Virginia say that? Okay, I'm asking you a question. Is it an obvious lie that you had sex toys in Jeffrey Epstein's house? Answer, I don't recall any sex toys. Okay, if someone said you had sex toys, would that be an obvious lie? Answer, like I said, can you be more specific about the house or whatever? What exactly you are referring to? What's a sex toy? I thought we sorted this out quite a few pages ago. Okay, yes. How would you define a sex toy? Answer, no. I need you to define a sex toy. I don't have enough knowledge of sex toys. Okay, I'll define it based on the dictionary's definition, which is an object or device used to sexually stimulate or enhance sexual pleasure. Answer, what's your question, please? Okay, the question is it an obvious lie that you had sex toys in Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach house? Answer, like I said, I do not have any recollection of sex toys in Jeffrey Epstein's house. Okay, is it a lie? Is it an obvious lie that you took pictures of nude girls? Answer, we already covered this. Girls we are not referring to. I can only testify to taking pictures of adult people, and I already testified that they were not nude, per se. That every picture that I ever took, and which they were very limited, always by request, the people would be covered or it would be a hand or a foot. There were never any pictures that I took of people that would only have been mainstream type magazine type photos, and any photos I took could have been very happily and expected to be displayed on your parents' mantelpiece or grandparents' mantelpiece. What, like a hand or a foot? Okay, is it a lie that you approach females to bring them to Jeffrey Epstein? Answer, please ask the question again. Okay, is it a lie that you approach females? Answer, I don't know what you're asking me. And she asks again. Answer, you're not asking me a good question, sorry. Wow. Okay, you don't get to choose the questions. Oh my goodness, the height of this woman. She really does think she's way up there and, you know, above everybody else. Answer, I would like to answer your questions, but you're not asking me a question that I can answer. Okay, what about that is causing you pause where you can't answer the question? Answer, you're trying to trap me and that's not fair. So I already testified that I hire people across the board. So I would hire architects, decorators, pool people, exercise instructors, gardeners, cooks, chefs, cleaning people. So I, in the course of a very long time, when I would hire people, I hired people to work for Jeffrey. So I'm happy to testify to hiring people for every possible conceivable proper job that you could conceive of within the context of Jeffrey's life and homes. Okay, is it a lie that you approach females to bring them to Jeffrey Epstein for the purpose of performing massages? Answer, again, I've already testified that part of the job that I had was to hire lots of different types of people. in terms of whatever. Very small part of my job. Jeffrey enjoyed getting massages. I think that is something we can all agree in this room. And within the context of that, very infrequently, I would go to spas and myself happily receive a professional, non-sexual massage from a man and or from a woman. And if that massage was something that I thought was something good, I would ask if that man or woman could come back and does home visits. If that person said that they did, they would sometimes come from time to time, not always, come back to the house to perform a non-sexual professional male or female massage. Okay, were any of the exercise instructors you hired under the age of 18? Answer, again, I don't hire. We've already established that. I don't hire people. I interview people to see if they are competent in the job that they do and or whether they are someone who seemed that they can do home visits. At the point where I think that there is somebody that can be either whatever the job may be, pool gardener, chef or whatever, I think they could be good at whatever it is, at whatever skill that they had, and they did a home visit, which would obviously be mandatory, and Mr. Epstein would meet with them and decide if he wanted to have whatever skill it was that they would do it. And then he would either have them come back or hire them. Okay, were there any exercise instructors that worked at the home that were under the age of 18? Answer, again, I keep coming back to this, that the people that I employed, or, not the right word, yeah, she just tripped herself up. The people that I would meet to come and work at the house, under any guise whatsoever again, from any of the many positions that I filled, were all over 18, were adults. Okay, when you say adults over the age of 18, oh, okay, I'll put that in there. Answer, I think we can establish what adult would be. Okay, you never interviewed, or I know you don't want to use the word hired. Whatever your role was, you brought in an exercise instructor that was under the age of 18 to work at the house? Answer, I've already testified that what I was responsible for was to find people who had competencies in whatever area I was looking for. The competencies I was looking for were professional and adult. Okay, so there was no exercise instructor that worked at the Palm Beach house, or the New York house, or the New Mexico house, or the USVI under the age of 18? Answer, I could only testify to when I was at the house. Okay, yes. Answer, I can only testify to the years when I was present. Okay, right. Answer, and I can only testify to people I personally either met and or worked with and or invited. To find the correct word. I don't know what the correct word is. To come to do exercise or whatever, it was at the house. Of the people that I, male and or female, that I bought were all appropriate and age-appropriate adults. Okay, over the age of 18? Answer, we've established them as an adult. Okay, you're saying appropriate adults, so we're clear. You didn't hire or bring in or know of any exercise instructors that were under the age of 18 at any of these homes. Answer, I'm also testifying that when I was present at the house and with the people that I brought in were all age-appropriate adults. Okay, how do you define age-appropriate adults? Is that over the age of 18? Can we agree to that? Or are they under the age of 18? Answer, we already established that you can be a masseuse in Florida at age 17. That does not make it inappropriate. Answer, I'm not saying appropriate or inappropriate. I'm just asking if there were any exercise instructors that were under the age of 18. Answer, I'm not aware that if anybody was, but I don't want to fool out and say, oh, she said. Say you, oh, she said. Okay. We already established you can be a 17-year-old masseuse and have it not be something that is not appropriate. So when you say that and when you go, well, you come back and say something. Now we can establish that Virginia was 17, but you can be a 17-year-old legal masseuse, but I'm not aware to your point. These people are either speaking really bad or the person typing the text is missing a few words. I don't know what's going on. Okay, who are the other 17-year-old masseuses that you are aware of? Answer, I'm not aware of any. Okay, were there any 16-year-old masseuses that you're aware of? Answer, I'm not aware. Okay, 15. Answer, I just want to be clear. The only person I'm aware of who claims to have been we establish Virginia is now 17. Given she has changed her age so many times, the only person that I'm aware of that was a masseuse at the time when I was present in the house was Virginia. Okay, is it an obvious lie that Jeffrey Epstein has sexual preference for underage minors? Answer, can you ask the question again? Okay, is it an obvious lie that Jeffrey Epstein had sexual preference for underage minors? Answer, can you ask the question again? Okay, so they asked again. Answer, I cannot testify to what Jeffrey's... Okay, you don't know his preference? Answer, you handed me a stack of papers from the police report, and that's what I've read, but I have no knowledge, direct knowledge, of what you are referencing. Okay, so you don't know. You don't know in your own mind that Jeffrey Epstein had a sexual preference for underage minors. Is that correct? Answer, please ask the question again. And so they ask it again. Okay, hang on. What was this objection again? You have to pause. Let me object. Answer the question. Listener, question, pause. I object. You answer. Wow. Okay. Okay, so you don't know in your own mind that Jeffrey Epstein had a sexual preference for underage minors. Answer, I cannot tell you what Jeffrey's story is. I'm not able to. Okay, did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for purposes of sexual massages? And she asked to ask it again. So they do. Ask in a different way. So they do. Answer, I don't know what you're talking about. Wow. Okay, is it an obvious lie that Virginia Guthrie was a minor for the first time she was taken to Jeffrey Epstein's house? Answer, so we've already established that Virginia was 17, and we've established that her mother brought her to the house, and that she came as a masseuse aged 17, which is legal in Florida. Okay, would Jeffrey Epstein's assistants arrange times for underage girls to come to the house for sexual massages? Answer, what are you talking about? Okay, sure. Would Jeffrey Epstein's assistants, I think earlier you mentioned we talked about blank, who worked in the role as an assistant, or blank. Would Jeffrey Epstein's assistants arrange times for underage girls to come over to the house for sexual massages? Answer, again, I read the police reports, so this is all happening according to the police reports. When I'm no longer at the house, so I can't testify to what Jeffrey Epstein's assistants did when this kind of activity, as alleged in the reports. Okay, so you don't know. Answer, no. Okay, would Jeffrey Epstein's assistants, meaning blank or any other assistant that you are aware of from the time you worked there, take nude photographs of underage girls? Answer, during what period of time? Okay, during any period of time you worked, did you observe that? Answer, I did not observe any such photographs. Okay, are you aware if they took those kind of photos? Answer, I'm not aware. And then they take a break. So I'm going to do the same and have some dinner. I'll be back. You won't even know that I've been gone. Okay, I shouldn't bother telling you I have a break because you guys don't know. Anyway, okay, they had a break. Here too. And then, okay, Ms. Maxwell. Was it an obvious lie when Virginia said she was sent to Thailand by Epstein in September of 2002? Answer, I have no knowledge of Virginia being sent to Thailand. But may I say something? Okay, there's not a question pending unless you want to clarify something. Do you want to clarify that? Answer, no, I just wanted to say something. Okay, is it an obvious lie when Virginia said she was given instructions to maintain telephone contact with you while she was in Thailand? Answer, can you repeat the question? So I ask again. Answer, I have no idea what instructions Virginia was given. if any, when she went to Thailand? Okay, so you know she went to Thailand. Answer, I know she claims she went to Thailand from having read it, but given that she lied about everything, it's hard to know what is true and not true. Okay, would it make any sense for her to be in contact with you? Would there be any reason why she needed to be in contact with you? Answer, when are we talking about? Okay, when she went to Thailand. In 2002, would there be any reason for her to remain in contact with you? Answer, can you ask the question again? So they asked again. Answer, first of all, I didn't know that she went to Thailand. I had had nothing to do with her trip to go to Thailand. There would absolutely no reason, and there would be absolutely no reason for her to be in touch with me whatsoever. Okay, did you ever have a phone number that was blank? Answer, I did. Okay, was that a cell phone number? Answer, yes. Okay, is that your current cell phone number? Answer, yes. Okay, I'm going to mark a couple of things here. Maxwell Exhibit 11, photos marked for identification. The witness, can I say something now? Mr. Pag says no. The witness, will you let me know when I can? Mr. Pag says when she asks you a question. So he's trying not to let her put a foot in it, in other words. Okay, so we've marked this as Exhibit 11. I'm showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 11, which is Guthrie and the numbers. Can you take a look at that document for me? Is that number that you just identified, the blank as being your cell phone number? Is that number on this document? Answer, it is. Okay, and do you know who authorised this document? Answer, I do not. Okay, who is blank? Answer, I don't know who blank is on this document because I don't know what this document is. Okay, do you know someone by the name of blank? Answer, I do know someone by the name of blank. Okay, would he know your phone number? Answer, I have no idea. Okay, why would Virginia be instructed to call Ms. Maxwell at your number on this form? Answer, I don't know what this document is. I don't know when it was done. I don't know anything about it other than I can see it has my name and my number on it. Okay, so blank, something you said, blank, something, is he employed by Mr. Epstein? Answer, again, it is not the only one blank on the planet. Okay, I understand. Do you know a blank that is employed by Mr. Epstein? And she asks, can you ask the question again? They do. Answer, I do know somebody who is employed by Mr. Epstein known as blank. Okay, do you recognise the other numbers listed at the top of this document? Answer, I do not. Okay, would you have known blank cell number at the time in 2002? Answer, I have no idea. Okay, can I ask you to turn to the next page, please? Do you know who blank is, who is mentioned in this document? Answer, I do not. Okay, if you look at the bottom lines on the document, it says, still in Thailand during your stay. If she is, she will be staying at the same hotel. Do you recall ever giving Virginia instructions to meet a girl in Thailand? Answer, I've already testified that I didn't even know Virginia was going to Thailand. Okay, so you didn't give her instructions to meet a girl in Thailand? Answer, like I said, I didn't even know she was going to Thailand. Okay, do you know whether Jeffrey Epstein would have given her instructions to meet a girl in Thailand? Answer, I cannot possibly tell you what Jeffrey did or didn't do. I wouldn't know. Okay, do you know whether Jeffrey Epstein paid for Virginia to go to Thailand? Answer, again, I wouldn't know if he did. They're directing to the documents. Okay, I'm going to direct. You can take a look at it, and then when I'm going to direct your attention to a couple of pages. And they state the pages. Okay, so I'm going to direct your attention to the first page of Have You Ever Travelled with Jeffrey Epstein, where you've received a document like this from Shoppers Travel in your own independent travel. Do you recognise this? Okay, the front page. Do you recognise this Shopper Travel form? Have you ever used them as a travel agent with Jeffrey Epstein? Answer, I don't recognise this. Okay, turning to the second page, which is another number. Do you see at the very top of that document where it says Jeffrey Epstein? J. Epstein, 457 Madison Avenue, 4th floor, New York, New York. Is that an address you are familiar with? That is Jeffrey Epstein's? Answer, I am. Okay, do you see below that, travel Singapore Airlines, and you're going to have to go from New York, JFK, to Singapore, Bangkok. Do you see that? And Mr. Pag says, what? And they say, okay, the first entry is going to be on September the 27th, New York. And Mr. Pag says, I see it. And Miss Macaulay says, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the witness. Oh, a bit of humour in there. Oh, there has to be something. I'm sorry, guys. This is very long and tedious, and I do apologise. I am going to just try and get to page 300, which then leaves 165 pages left to read. I'm trying to do it in 3 parts. Okay. Answer, I see it. Okay, to Singapore, Bangkok. Answer, Singapore, Bangkok. I'm afraid I'm not the same place. Okay, Singapore, then Bangkok. I'm going to turn you to page Guthrie. It's a little further back in the numbers. And do you see at the top where it says J. Epstein underneath Royal Princess change mine? Answer, I do. Okay, does this refresh your recollection that Virginia Roberts' trip to Thailand was paid for by Jeffrey Epstein? Answer, I can only testify to the piece of paper you showed me that has that information. I cannot testify from direct memory. Okay, when Virginia was travelling to Thailand, the dates again, I'm going to refer you back to the first page so you can see the dates. Okay. And he asked for an identify a Bates number. Okay. So, okay, blank, which was at the top, says blank. I'm going to refer you at the same time to the flight logs, which were marked. The thicker document that looks like this with all the log entries on it. I'm going to refer you to that page. Answer, can you repeat that number, please? So they do. Blank, and if you will look on that page at the entry under blank, starting with the blank, and then it runs down to looks like the blank, that first entry has blank, blank, Jeffrey Epstein and the initials GM. Blank during blank. Answer, can you repeat the question, please? So they do. Which we can barely read, so I don't see much point in trying to... Oh, do you remember taking a trip with blank during blank? That's the blank, it looks like, through the blank. Answer, I don't remember the dates. I couldn't testify to when we actually did it, but I do remember the trip itself. Okay, so you were travelling with Jeffrey Epstein and blank. At the same time, Virginia was headed to Thailand. Is that correct? Answer, I don't know if that's right. Okay, if you look at blank on the document that I gave you, the first document, and then you referred to, if you look at in the same as above lines, you will see the travel group with blank. And then Mr. Peg interjects again. Are you asking her to compare the documents, or are you asking her what her personal knowledge is? And Miss Macaulay says, I'm asking if she can look at the doubts and tell me if she recalls that she travelling with blank at the same time this document reflects Virginia was in Thailand. Oh. Answer, I can't testify to any dates. I couldn't tell you. I can see a date and I can see a date, but I can't... Hey? I can see a date and I can see a date. But I can't tell you that I have a memory of the dates. I have a memory of the trip. I don't have the memory of the time. Okay, who is blank? Answer, blank. Okay, what is her address? Answer, I don't know. Okay, where does she live in the United States? Or does she live in the United States? Answer, she does. Okay, in what state? Answer, I believe New Jersey somewhere. Okay, do you have a phone number? Answer, not memorised. Okay, do you have the ability to get her phone number? Answer, of course. Okay, has blank ever asked other girls to come over to see Jeffrey Epstein for the purposes of sexual massage? And she asked the question again and again. Answer, I have no personal knowledge. Okay, what does blank do for you? Answer, she helps me with my not-for-profit Ocean Foundation and any other related activities that I may have. Okay, is she paid for by Jeffrey Epstein? Answer, no. Is she paid for, she's paid for by you? Okay, she's paid for by you? Answer, yes. Which I'd like to know where she got her income from to pay this person. As far as we knew, she was getting it from Jeffrey. Nah, I'm sure the Mossad were paying her, or CIA or someone too. Okay, when did you first meet blank? I don't recollect exactly, sometime maybe 2002, 2003. Okay, how did you meet her? I don't recollect exactly how we met. Okay, did Jeffrey introduce you to her? Answer, I don't recollect how we met. Okay, does she know Jeffrey Epstein? Answer, can you ask again? Answer, what do you mean by no? Because they asked her again. She said, what do you mean by no? Oh my goodness. Okay, has she met him before? Answer, I can't recollect a time when blank, I've seen blank with Jeffrey, but okay, you're not sure. Answer, I know they know each other. I can't testify to a meeting between them. Okay, do you know where in New Jersey she lives? Answer, no. Okay, you don't know a city? Answer, no. Okay, how long has she worked for you? Answer, sometime 2002, 2003. Okay, to the present? Answer, yes. Okay, why do you think that blank might know Jeffrey? Answer, because, I know Jeffrey. Okay, have you seen them together? Answer, I've already testified I've not seen them together to my recollection. Okay, is it your testimony that blank knows Jeffrey Epstein through the work that she does for you? Answer, I don't recollect, and I don't recollect how I met blank, and I can't testify to what blank relationship is or is not with Jeffrey. Okay, have you ever talked to Jeffrey about blank? Answer, I don't know what you mean. In any way, have you ever had a conversation with Jeffrey about blank? Virginia's statement that I celebrated her 16th birthday with her. We can all agree that that's entirely impossible. I didn't meet her until she was 17, and other lies she perpetrated, that she had a diary and we all know is a complete fake. That's not a diary. It was just a book she was writing that you helped to sell to the press. As if it was a diary, when it was just a story that she's writing of fictional story for money. I know a lot of people who just use exercise books. They used to be called journals, and we did that at school. So there you go. They do write in normal books and use them as diaries. Okay. How did you arrive at the words that were put in that statement? And he's going to object again. Objection, Your Honour! Objection! Okay, and he's going to instruct you to the extent this calls for any privileged communication between yourself and blank or another lawyer representing you. We're asserting privilege. If you can answer that without that, feel free to answer. Okay, so what your counsel is saying, and I will exclude any privileged communications you had with your lawyer, the question is, how did you arrive at the words that were put in that statement? If you can tell me without disclosing privileged communications. Answer, I'm not sure that I can. Okay, is the statement that you issued true? Answer, what do you mean by that? Is the statement is the statement that you issued, the statement that's in front of you, is it a true statement? Answer, as in that Virginia's a liar? Okay, the words you put in there, is that true? Answer, of course they're true. Okay, when did you become aware the statement was being released? Answer, I don't recollect exactly. Okay, what day it was? Answer, no. Okay, I'm sorry. Did you identify, I might not have caught it, did you identify the name of the lawyer that you said you retained for purposes of this statement? Answer, I think blank. Okay, did you pay that lawyer? Blank, blank. Answer, yes. Are you aware of any interstate or international transportation of women aged 18 to 28 for the purposes of prostitution? Answer, I'm not sure I even understand your question. Okay, I'll go slower. Are you aware of any interstate meaning between states or international meaning overseas transportation of women aged 18 to 28 for the purposes of prostitution? Answer. Are you asking, I'm still not sure I understand the question? And so they do it again. Answer. In the world, I'm sure that happens. I read about it. I read about it all the time. Okay. Not in the world. Are you aware of it in your experience with Jeffrey Epstein of any interstate or international transportation of women aged 18 to 28 for the purposes of prostitution? Answer. So while I appreciate this might not seem like a smart question, what do you mean by prostitution? What are you asking me exactly? Okay, that would be sex for hire, any kind of sexual act that's paid for. Answer. Who's paying? What are you asking me? Okay, it can be paid for by anybody. It's a sexual act that's paid for. I'm asking if you're aware of any interstate or international transportation of women aged 18 to 28 for the purposes of prostitution. Answer. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is really funny. It's so ridiculous, really. Okay, so you are not aware of that? Answer. No. Okay, are you aware of any interstate or international transportation of women aged 18 to 28 for the purposes of having sex with Epstein, where they would receive compensation of any type? Answer. I don't know what you're referring to. Okay, do you want me to repeat the question? Answer. Sure, go ahead. So they ask it again. Answer. I'm not aware of what you are talking about. And they ask it pretty much again. Answer. So you need to repeat that question for me. What? Okay, sure. So they ask it again. Answer. I think we can agree he did travel from time to time with professional adult masseuse. Okay, are you aware of any interstate or internet? And they ask it again. She still hasn't answered. Answer. Again, I'm not aware of anybody that. If you are asking for specifics to someone else, I have no knowledge of that. Okay, so you're not aware of any interstate or international transportation of women aged 18 to 28 for the purposes of providing a massage to any person other than Jeffrey Epstein? Answer. I don't recall what any single person being on a plane for a massage with someone else other than Jeffrey, for the sole purpose, if that's the question. I don't have any recollection of that. Okay, earlier in your testimony, you stated that Virginia Roberts was 17 at the time you met her. How do you know she was 17? And then Mr. Pag objects again, and to the context that calls for privileged response, I'm instructing you not to answer. So in other words, the lawyer knows how to get around. Obviously they do. They're lawyers, that's why they're there. Okay, how do you know Virginia Roberts was 17 at the time you met her? And he again instructs her not to answer. Answer. I will follow my counsel's advice. Okay, are you able to answer that question without telling me information you learned from a lawyer? Answer. I'm not. Okay, so you don't have an independent knowledge that Virginia, according to your statement, was 17 at the time you met her. Answer. Again, my lawyer has instructed me not to answer. Okay, I'm asking you a different question. Whether you have any independent knowledge outside your lawyers that Virginia was 17 at the time you met her. Answer. Following the instructions of my lawyers, I can only remember or testify to what she... Okay, Mr. Pag clears it up. She is asking you a different question. She is asking other than what your lawyers have told you. Do you have any knowledge about her being 17? That's what she's asking. Answer. I can't recollect where I got all the information that I have that definitively shows that. Well, okay, earlier in your testimony, I believe you said all of us would know that Virginia was 17 at the time you met her. How would we know that? Answer. I think you know that by her own dates. Now that it was in 2000, so her entire tale of me celebrating her 16th birthday is clearly another giant falsehood. Okay, but she was 16 and 17 that year, wasn't she? Answer, which year? Okay, you said it was 2000. Answer, I think the information that I have indicates that definitively was something that is privileged, so I can't share with you. Okay, so you have privileged information that definitively tells you that she was 17 at the time you met her. Answer, I believe I do. Okay, how would we know that? Answer, what are you asking me? Okay, earlier today you testified that we would know that she was 17 at the time you met her. How would we know that? Answer, I imagine you have access to exactly the same information that I do. Okay, what is that information? Answer, again, it's privileged. I can't share it with you, but you've been on this case for, I don't know, much longer than I have, and I imagine you have all the information that I do. Okay, do you know whether your lawyers have produced documents from you that would show the age that Virginia was at the time that you met her? And then he says, to the extent that calls for communication that you had with one of your lawyers, I'm instructing you not to answer it again. Okay, I assume you, as part of the discovery process, had to collect documents that were relevant to this action. Is that correct? Answer, I did. Okay, did you collect documents that would show that Virginia was 17 at the time you met her? Answer, I think you have everything that relates that I had contemporaneously per what you asked for that I have that relates to that. Okay, did you have a document that identified that Virginia was 17 at the time that you met her? Answer, you have all the documents that I had. Okay, I'm not asking what documents. I'm asking, do you have a document that identifies Virginia being 17 at the time you met her? Answer, you have every document that I have. You have seen every document that I have. Okay, that's not what I'm asking. Answer, I don't recall every document that I gave you, so I don't know. I would have to look at every single document I gave you and then review it, but as I recall, you have every document that I have. Okay, what are you planning to show the jury that will prove that Virginia was 17 when you met her? Answer, again, that's privileged, so I can't share that with you. Okay, if you're showing the jury, it wouldn't be privileged. So is there a document you've produced in this matter that shows that Virginia was 17 at the time you met her? And Mr. Pag reckons she already answered that question. Says she doesn't know. She's given you everything. If there's a decision, assuming for a moment there is such a document, just hypothetically, and assuming for the moment that it's going to get produced somewhere if it hasn't already been produced, obviously that would involve a waiver, a future waiver of privilege. I think that's the answer to the question. Wow. Okay, has the document been produced? Do you know? Answer, you have everything I have. I've given you. So if you can't, if it's not in those documents, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, your lawyers haven't withheld any documents? Answer, they are right here. You can ask them. Question, I'm asking you. Answer, I don't know what. They're lawyers. Okay, when we were talking earlier about blank, I asked you whether you had ever given him a gift of a puppet. Did you ever, not as a gift, did you ever see in the presence of blank, or blank, a puppet? Answer, can you be more direct, please? Okay, sure. Were you ever in a room with blank where there was a puppet? Answer, can you be more specific? And can you bound it by time and be more specific? Whatever you're actually asking me. Oh my goodness. Okay. Were you ever in a room with blank in New York in Jeffrey Epstein's home where there was a puppet? Answer, what sort of puppet are you asking me? What? What sort of puppet are you asking me? Okay, any kind of puppet. Answer, you need to be more descriptive. I don't know what you mean by puppet. There is hand puppets, all sorts of puppets. Okay, is there any puppet you've ever seen in Jeffrey Epstein's home in the presence of blank? Answer, again, puppet. You know, there is lots of types of puppets. Okay, any type of puppet. Answer, if you want to give me a description of the puppet, I would perhaps be able to say. Okay, any type of puppet. Answer, can you be more detailed? Okay, have you ever seen a puppet in Jeffrey Epstein's home in the presence of blank? Answer, my understanding of a puppet is a small handheld item you'd have at a circus. I've never seen that. Wow. Okay, have you ever seen a puppet which is identified as movable model of a person or animal that is used in entertainment and typically moved either by strings or controlled from above by a hand inside it? And then he objects again. Answer, I've not seen a puppet that fits exactly that description. Okay, have you seen any puppet that fits any description? And she asked to re-ask the question again. Answer, I'm not aware of any small handheld puppet that was there. There was a puppet, not a puppet. There was a... I don't know how you describe it, really. I don't know how you would describe it. Okay, you just said that. Not a puppet. I don't know how you would describe... Oh, my God. Good God. Okay, a character of blank that was in Jeffrey's home. Wow. Okay, did you use that caricature to put the hand of the caricature on blank? On blank's breast? Answer, I don't recollect. I recollect the puppet, but I don't recollect anything around the puppet. You characterise puppet, I characterise it as, I don't know, as a characterisation of blank. Wow. Okay, do you recollect asking Virginia Roberts to sit on blank's lap with a caricature of blank? Answer, I do not recollect that. Okay, what do you remember about the caricature of the blank caricature when you were in the presence of blank, blank, Virginia Roberts and blank? Answer, I don't recollect the story as told by blank or Virginia. I don't even know who. I remember the caricature of blank, and I remember blank, but I don't recall anything else around the caricature. Oh, my goodness. Okay, did you give it to him? Answer, I did not. Okay, who gave it to him? Answer, I don't think it was given to him at all. Okay, did he bring it? Answer, no. Okay, was it something that was at the house? Answer, as best I recollect. Okay, was it something that you saw at the house in advance of blank's arrival? Answer, again, I recollect the caricature, I recollect blank, I don't recollect much else around the caricature. Okay, was there a party going on at the house the time you recollect the caricature? Answer, you have to be way more specific. Okay, do you remember you said you recollect this caricature, you recollect blank being there. Do you recollect a party going on at the time of that interaction with blank and the caricature? Answer, I don't recollect a party. First of all, they weren't really parties. I don't recollect a party. I don't know what you mean by party in the context of that scenario. Okay, who do you recollect being at home during the time blank was there with this caricature? Answer, I only recollect myself with blank. I don't recollect anyone else. Okay, you don't recollect Jeffrey Epstein being there? Answer, actually, no. Okay, you don't recollect blank being there? Answer, no. Okay, you don't recollect Virginia Roberts being there? Answer, no. Okay, it was just you and blank. Answer, I'm not saying it was just me and blank. You are asking me, do you remember? I only remember blank. I remember blank and the caricature, but I can't place the caricature and everybody else in the same context, the same time frame you're asking me. And then there's a big blanked out question. And the answer's there. Typically there's no typical because there is no standard procedure. So I can't comment or testify to blank. Okay, do you remember them being in the house? Answer, not specifically. Do you mind if I take a bathroom break? Then they go to the bathroom. I'm going to leave it there because that's a break and I'll know where I'm up to, guys. Page 295. Okay, I'm 2/3 of the way through it nearly. Let me know what you think down below. And yeah, I'll continue with this tomorrow. I know there's other news going on right now. It seems that the computer that was found, out of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, it was like 20. That's what I'm hearing. So it was way worse than anyone thinks. Okay, guys. I will definitely talk to you soon. You take care, and I will be back tomorrow. And don't forget to check out the link below. If you're worried about 5G, there's an affiliate link below. Please check it out. Okay, guys. Bye.